talking about these dogs. But I said, stop that. I said, stop that. I can't do that. I said, stop that. I'm trying to train them. They love playing. And I love them to play. But on a walk, I'm trying to train them to let's walk. But I guess they like, okay, we done walked. All right. Now we made it to the top. And this they form of celebrating. You got to climb up from the very bottom. I got to look it up and see how much. I said stop there. I got to look it up and see how much. Stop that! Y'all see how I got it? Y'all embarrassing me like baby. These is baby dogs. If you a young whippersnapper looking at this video, you got to look up and see where baby kids are so you can see these is baby dogs. Anyway, my cousin just moved into California and I am so excited for this, brother. Young black men, they have a different come up, in this country. We all do, like we all can, but our family, back in the day, we all have the history of, slaves in the family. Slaves, not slaves, but because they really weren't slaves, they were the enslaved. And we have that history, but we're not a family that comes from nothing. Our family has stuff, but you still can be a brilliant, come from a nice family and be in an environment that takes you down. So that's why I'm so super glad he's here, because he is a creative person, creative, funny brother, tall, could model on some things, if you want to work out. And you just got to be in an environment that fosters that. I had to put my glasses up and hold this at the same time and then hold a baby dog, which y'all can't, you see one of them. But anyway, so I showed him Runyon Canyon, which I would come out here and do for a few days. And then, this morning, he was like, all right, I'm going to see you out there. Like he was assuming I was going to come up to the canyon too. And, I'm thinking he moving here so I can help him, which he is. But he definitely helping me too, because I'm like, yeah, why isn't the first thing I do in the morning is investing in my whole health? Now, I do walk up a hill, which is like a 40-minute walk. Like, to do Runyon Canyon is like, it's a 2-hour commitment, because it's a half-hour walk here. Mind you, you gotta work out to even get up here. Then, it's like an hour and something to get to maybe less than an hour to get to the top. Then you gotta walk home. So it's like an hour and a half to 2-hour commitment. But that's like, when you think about your life, you think about it being nothing. You know what I'm saying? And this is so good for the dogs. It be wearing them out. It keeps them calm. And then they get to come out here and have so much fun seeing all these other dogs play on the hill. I was just out here. What I love to do too is I love to be out here, listen to my word, listen to my praise music. And then of course, my praise music just, look at these two right here. That's they all the way up there. My praise music just stopped. And, I just turned it off. I mean, I was listening to Bill Winston and it just stopped, and then I just turned it off. And then I just sat down there and I just praised the Lord so much for like how he always bring it in. Like, every money I need, all the healing I've ever needed. One time I was at this doctor's office, and they had done my blood levels. And so the lady called back, and one of the nurses called back, and they was like, the doctor wants you to go test immediately, go retest immediately. So I was like, why? I just came from testing. And he was like, yeah, something about your levels. So I was like, what is it about my levels? Y'all calling me urgently. So he was like, I don't know. I'm looking through the paperwork to see. So I was like, you don't know? You calling me to test the level? So then he was like, I just remembered now. What kind of nurse talking about? I just remember that. He was like, it's your liver. You have a damaged liver. Now, of course, I had a show that night. I came to my show, and first of all, it was nothing but the Holy Spirit making me have a show, because music, I am a music person, and music ministers to me so much. So I could just sing all that anxiety away. I could just believe. I could just rebuke that statement. Like, I refuse to even speak that statement. I'm only speaking it because I'm telling y'all what he said. And but then I was like immediately my eating habits, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna clean this up. But it started to be like, all the scriptures, Psalm 91 is my famous scripture, which, a thousand may fall at your side, 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come nigh me. Then, I just started going, and I just started rebuking that every single night. And, and then I just kept saying in myself to the doctor, I went back to, then they had me back in the doctor's office, and I kept saying, Dell, no, your liver is fine. Like, I don't know what and I went right to the doctor's office, and I'm telling you, she was like, oh, no, I wasn't even worried about your liver. I wanted to, test you for something else. And, that nurse was used by the Lord, because I did need to clean up my eating habits, but me rebuking what he said was just like, it just shows me the power of the Lord, like how we have the power inside of us so much, you know what I mean? So, and I just was thanking the Lord how he has just cleaned out of that, because I was feeling these little like weird things, and then, bust a couple of moves, cleaned up a couple of things, stopped eating a few things, started drinking more water, started doing these things. So, I was just out here on a mountain, I was praising the Lord, but that is not what I was booting this camera up to talk about. But before I even talk about it, I gotta just take y'all to the peak so y'all could just see everything. Take y'all to the peak, because this why we're aspiring to come to the top of Runyon Canyon, so you can see everything. I'ma also take a separate video and show you the canyon on the way down when it's like better lighting, because right now the sun is in the way. Let me start walking down, because one thing about it too is, another thing too is I have to force myself to pull away from work, work is, I actually love it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I love to see the accomplishment. I got my song that just came out. So, every day I'm promoting and following up and taking these exciting classes that I just feel the shift in, in my, not the shift, but the shift, spiritual shift always, but the leveling up, I feel it from just being more knowledgeable. And, I took this, reached out to a friend of mine who is a singer and is doing really well. And then was seeing how she was doing it. She sent me these links and videos. So now I'm like, okay, I want to finish looking at that, but the whole reason I turned on this, which is something so great that I notice every day. I come to my home, or usually around the evening time, and the cat lady is out there. It's this old white lady that she pushes a cart. And if you didn't know no better, you would just be like, that homeless lady be out here, But every day she's at that fence saying, get it. And guess what? She's putting down food. It's like she's got about 5 white plastic plates out there that she's putting down. And she slides it in. She puts the cat food out of a can every single day. Now, the cats live in this building next door that is owned by this nonprofit agency. It's like this environmental nonprofit agency. So they be working with all these trees. I don't know exactly what they do, but I just see like people over there working with trees, and occasionally I see them bringing trucks in there, and maybe they're out putting trees in the environment because they have a whole bunch of like brand new trees. And but so the cats are not hers, they live in that they live behind that environmental building, and she goes there every single day and she feeds them. And I'm talking about, without fail, I will see this thing. Then when I walk by, she will be like, oh, I got a treat for the dogs. I got a treat for the dogs. And she will give the dogs treats. So, I let her give the dogs treats. Then I ran into my neighbor one day. And when I first moved into my building, the neighbor's dog had this big old growth on his head, And they was like, yeah, we I don't know what we was going to do. We need to have surgery. But the lady that feed the cats, she's going to pay for the surgery. Surgery costs thousands of dollars. She's going to pay for the surgery, And then the surgery came, and it was like, yeah, they was able to remove the lump. And luckily, the cat lady paid for the surgery. I'm talking about they not friends with this lady. She don't know this lady. This lady just volunteered to pay for the surgery, okay? She feeds the cat. And I was thinking about how special it is that this is her calling. You know what I'm saying? She knows that this is her calling, and she does it accordingly. She is not like, she is so happy. That makes her so happy. And that's how those cats get fed. And that's how that dog was able to live longer. And I was just thinking of the blessing in that simple calling. I'm out here being like, I just want to conquer the world. I just can't wait to everybody know my name. I know the Lord want that for me. I just, and the Lord has given me all these skills that garner people knowing who I am. And, He's dropped it in my spirit that I want to leave a legacy that everyone knows about. But I just love so much that I can see this lady's purpose, and I can see her happiness in the purpose. Now, she not out there talking to the neighbors and kicking it, and here go this lady, and she's like, hey, y'all, the cat lady, is it? Nothing. She is just out there every day being like, hey, kitty, 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 kitty. And the cats know her, and then sometimes when my dogs go by, they might run away, for the food. And like, they come right to that fence, and I'm sure they've gotten to know her. And, I just feel like I aspire to, and I think I do, have that much joy in my purpose. I do feel like I'm seeing my purpose more and more as I let go of things, is to give people joy, to spread the Lord's word, and that being, filling people up with joy. But I have said to myself, and I think, I'm just going to start doing it more. Like, I want the Lord's plans for me, but I also want to know, like, more of my purpose, because I definitely have a lot of callings and talents, that He is required for me to use. And as I go throughout, like, the stage, like, for instance, my comedy, right? I used to have, I used to use very vulgar language. You grow up, cursing as a dialect. It's really not, being angry with anybody. It just literally is used as a funny dialect, especially in our Black community, And it was fun for a while, but I always desired to be able to have my grandma see my content, and she could look at it in the room with her friends, and and not even think, and be proud of it, So press this. But anyway, now I just so now as I step into my purpose, my calling, the Lord has told me to, called me to clean it up, and it feels so good. Like, I have so much more confidence on stage from just having that clean material, because even if the clean material goes south, I used to be trying to talk about the vaccine and and how I just, feel about that. And then I just decided to take that off the table so that I don't have to keep dividing the room. Okay, the world, I talked to a friend of mine and he was like, listen, we can't battle with the news and the information that people are receiving that's making them decide. We got to get back to our job, which is to spread that joy when we get on the stage. And since I did that, I'm talking about, it has been real joy. Because you, as a comedian, yes, I want to express myself and feel the injustices and the conspiracies. But, the bottom line too is I have so many other things to talk about, and when I get to those places where that, is, I feel like there's more reception there, then yeah, I'll go back and revisit it. But I already visited, I already got the response, and I just want to know, I just been praying about being in praying to the Lord of having more of my purpose, like that cat lady. She knows her purpose. It's small. It's literally dedicated to some cats. Okay? Clearly the Lord has super duper blessed her that she can pay for random people's surgery that's costing at least $3,000. You know what I'm saying? And she's content with it. There is a peace in when I walk by, and may I also live in my own peace of the things I'm doing and the Lord has called me to be and called you to be. Guys, put it in the comments. Leave me a comment. I do these videos for discussion. Make sure you like, subscribe, and make sure you keep coming back to Bye, y'all.